Hello and welcome to another special Unsourced Wall unboxing. Today I'm going to be looking at this amazing new release from Mego. It's the Toxic Avenger Mego figure in its special limited edition rectangular box. Now there's a regular standard edition of this, which is like your standard Mego release. It's in plastic, all that kind of stuff. But this is like the more vertical vintage style tube box. On the side, you can see some artwork from the movie. On the back, even further art from the movie. And also a little label up there where you can see that it's under the Mego Monsters branding and a horror figure, which is cool, which is nice because this is a horror movie. So-and-so. It's a horror comedy, it's an action superhero movie, it's a bunch of things, and it's also a trauma classic. And I'm really glad to have this figure. It's one of my favorite films of all time. I think it's a riot. It's really great. And you know what? Let's pop this thing open and see what it has to offer. And here we have him outside the box holding his signature mop. And I'd say this is a really lovely figure. It's my first official Mego figure. Now I've had Mego style figures. I know that DC Comics and Warner Brothers, they came out with a line of Mego style retro superhero figures with like the Flash, Batman, Swamp Thing, Black Adam, Captain Cold, all that kind of stuff. And I have a couple of those. They are a little bit worse for wear. The rubber banding has kind of gone out, so they just kind of flop around. Well, this is a fresh out of the box one, and he stands excellently. All of the joints and sort of articulation that the box boasts about work very fluidly, and I have to say I love it. I think that one of the reasons I love this so much is that, like I said, Toxic Avenger is my favorite movies, and I've always been on the hunt for a figure that is worthy of the branding. Now I know Toxic Avenger has had a couple of figures in the past, several kind of movie license figures and a couple of like statue staction figures that are just like more like busts than anything else. That have always been very lackluster to me because they're either overly detailed to the point of not even looking like the movie, or too simplified to even be recognizable. It's a really weird middle ground. And I think that the Mego figure kind of knocks it out of the park. It's simple enough to be like a fun figure. Like I can move him around. He's got a great range of motion for like just a simple toy. You can even get him to like some sort of like a standard superhero pose, because one thing about Toxic Avenger is that it was like a X-rated kind of affair, but you know, Toxie himself was, you know, a devil-may-care, a true blue, like Boy Scout kind of hero. So you get him into a nice kind of stalwart, noble hero pose, and you are golden. And he stands excellently. This is a really fun figure, and one thing I love about it is the likeness on the face. Toxie's face is kind of hard to get into that good medium ground where it looks like the film, but is also, you know, toyetic and fun. And I think this really captures the at least the original film's makeup excellently. The eyes in the right place. He's got that childish, like kind of almost sweet grin, and just a modeled like face everywhere else. Now the body is like, I guess, your standard Mego body, just slick, smooth. But I do love the sickly brownish green color it's in. Just gives it that kind of like decayed, radioactive look that even the poster art never really captured, because it's too pink here. Toxie is classically like just near corpse looking, and that's part of his charm. It's part of his charm, to be sure. And you know, the tunic and the ballerina costume looks dirty and disgusting and just decayed as well. Like, and it's perfect. Like, I think that a lot of times when they make these figures, they go overboard. They make it too weird. It's not something that looks fun to play with, not something you ever want to handle. But this tunic is like the perfect amount of like in disrepair. The fact that it looks very, you know, caricaturish, but just on the edge of it, which is good. It looks like a fun toy to handle. It doesn't look like you're gonna be like disgusted handling this, because it's a bit more surreal. It's a bit more exaggerated, but in a way that harkens to what the movie was like, rather than, you know, looking gross for grossness sake, which is, again, very fine line, but this figure really knocks it out of the park. But I do want to compare it with my previous best available Toxic figure, because I think that's worth kind of comparing and contrasting. So just give me a second and I'll pull it out. Here he is. I'm going to have to hold him up, right, because he's so tiny. It is the Super 7 Reaction Movie Toxic Avenger figure, because I know they come out with several variants of these. Some redecos, some based on other versions of Toxie. Well, this is your standard movie version. And you can see, like, yeah, this is a little bit more, like, pale skin, a little bit more regular humanoid, not like the movie accurate sickly brown color that this figure is. But it does have a lot more in common than most do. Like I said, the eyes are in the right place. He's got that nice, sweet, wholesome grin. And like the sort of more dirty, more muted colors on the ballerina outfit. You know, nothing too exaggerated and simple, but to the point where, like, okay, yeah, it looks like a nice, solid figure. The only thing about this that really kind of knocks it down for me is that, of course, the scale. I only got this because there was literally no other Toxic figures out there that, you know, look like this. Like I said, a lot of them are just really disgusting looking and not even accurate looking. While this one, you know, it's simple. It's meant to be like an old throwback Kenner figure. So it's really, really stripped down, but it still has that Toxic feel, that kind of wholesome, good-natured Toxic feel. But the big drawback is that its mop, well, it's a solid glow-in-the-dark plastic material mop for one, so it doesn't even have like a brown wooden handle. So it looks a little bit, you know, lame in a way, but his hand does not have a good grip on it at all. If you get it like at a right angle and you kind of curve the mop around his hand, you can get a little bit of it, but it's very awkward to hold. Like, he has to hold it like a very specific position, and it's not that great. Well, this one has, you know, still very stiff grip on the handle, but it looks a little more natural. But no, I love both these figures. I think that they both, you know, match different niches. Like, if you want something that would have easily come out at Toxie's heyday, then yeah, this one for sure. But for like a, you know, a more kind of like a movie accurate, more adult collector oriented figure, this one is the one to beat. It is the high bar. It looks like the movie. It looks fun. It has the great amount of detail, but most of all, it captures the spirit of the movie. Because, like I said, even though film goes wild in some places, it is a wholesome film, and this captures Toxie's wholesome superhero, you know, character to a T. It is fun. It is solid, and I feel like it's a miracle to even got something like this. You know, I mean, you're not making many trauma figures out there, so the fact that Toxic Avenger got this kind of play, well, I'm glad I'm alive to see it, and it's a really great figure. I think it's unique among Mego figures to have a ballerina tunic, you know. Hey, and the ballerina skirt is actually a separate piece from the tunic itself, which I guess helps with, you know, if you want to kind of have like a articulation post so it doesn't get in the way, it doesn't scrunch up as badly, and that's really nice. He also comes with loafers. I don't remember Toxie wearing loafers. I don't. I might have to look at the movie again. I think he was just going like with ballerina slippers, maybe even barefoot at times. But he has nice little loafers. And I guess like most Mego figures, you can take these off. But I don't want to stretch the plastic too much. It seems like it'd be a little more of a hassle than usual to take these off. But it's a great figure. Like I said, the big boon is the likeness and the scale. Could it be better? Yes, I think so. Like, the stock Mego body is nice. I'm glad they went the extra mile to give it this sickly, yellow, green, brown, mustard color. But even on the smaller scale Super 7 figure, he has more of the mutation, more of the toxic waste scarring on his forearms, which would have been nice to see carried forward here. Maybe some entrepreneuring custom designer can get some little attachments made onto those, you know. Toy figure collectors are always finding new ways to improve some stuff. But other than that, it's really fun. And I'm glad that it can stand up straight, that it can hold a pose. There are Mego stands out there you can get, and I probably will get one because this is one that I want to keep in as pristine condition as possible, because who knows, we might get more Toxic Avenger figures from other companies down the line. But for now, this is, like I said, the definitive one. And it is really great, and I can't wait to display it alongside Mini Toxie here. So that's it. Let me know what you think. If you've got this figure, if you collect Mego figures, if you collect like niche Mego figures like this, do you have this one? Do you expect to get it? And what are your thoughts in general? I think it's really fun. But let me know your comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe. And yeah, see you again next week for some more Unsourced Wall unboxing. I have a bunch of fun stuff coming in that I can't wait to share. Gonna hang around with Toxic here and clean up some crime, literally.